Ek kan dit nou chips gaan koop wat die by ons op die jaard kom. Ek wil net die mense waarsku in Wellington, ons bly in ons het nou uit die chips opgemaak, toe kry jy 3 pille binne-in. Ons het dadelik foto's gevat en dadelik die polisie gebel, ons wag nou vir die polisie om te kom. Asseblief mense moet nie by die Nakas chips koop nie. Ek gaan nou die fotootjie vir julle wys. Ons het nog chips gelaat koop, maar daar was die ingewisie. Ons het nou net in die een pakkie gekry. So laat julle kinders asseblief versigtig wees en die chips bekyk voor hulle dit eet asseblief. En baie dankie. Is die fotootjie?
Disclaimer. Due to YouTube's content guidelines and my commitment to maintaining a respectful environment for all viewers, I am unable to include footage that is graphic or disturbing in nature. Graphic content, while important in understanding the full impact of certain events, can violate platform policies and affect the viewer experience. My goal is to present this topic responsibly and sensitively, so I'll focus on providing context and information without the need for explicit visuals. Thank you for understanding. Tragedy struck recently in South Africa as news broke of several children falling seriously ill and even losing their lives after consuming contaminated food purchased from tuck shops. For many families, these small shops are a convenient place to buy affordable snacks and essentials for their kids. But now, they're at the center of a devastating crisis. The exact number of tuck shops in South Africa is hard to pin down, as these small shops, often informal, vary widely and aren't all registered. Tuck shops are commonly found in schools, neighborhoods, and informal settlements, providing affordable daily essentials, snacks, and groceries. Estimates suggest there are tens of thousands of informal traders in South Africa, with tuck shops being a significant portion of these. Lately, there has been a debate about the dominance of foreign nationals in the tuck shop sector. Some migrant outlets dabble with cash card and airtime transactions as authorized retailers. Yet most are operated by illegal immigrants. This exposes the complicity of banks and cell phone companies in the violation of the Financial Intelligence Center Act, FICA. The debate comes at the time when there has been a slew of deaths involving children. Unsurprisingly, food poisoning is at the center of these deaths, with self-packaged foodstuffs suspected to have been contaminated by a chemical agent commonly used to kill rats. What is to be done? Needless to say, the interest groups have been calling for government to audit all tuck shops with a view to ring-fence such a model business as the preserve of citizens. But the courts elected to uphold the status quo, even though the free-for-all gap in legislation is compromising the interests of children who have become the face of the tragic narrative in society. Not only do these learned justices know no justice, but they are completely indifferent to the pleas of communities and aloof to safeguard the children's quality of health. They are way too complacent to care that these outlets sell unwholesome stock sourced from a cartel that supplies wholesalers mostly owned by their brethren and keep no record of sales or returns. Worse, migrant hawkers still cook up delicacies with products purchased from a flea market dominated by foreign nationals. No wonder the health inspectors are unable to track and trace the origin of the food poisoning under investigation. The blame shifting stirred enraged citizens to loot and burn down migrant shops. That is bound to spiral out of control because we're misled by the judiciary, which assigned itself illegitimate powers to govern this country.
Community leaders in Naledi, Soweto say, according to the law, foreign nationals are not permitted to operate in the informal market. They say that they've put plans in place to ensure that the informal market is owned by the locals. All this after the death of 6 children in the area due to consumption of alleged contaminated snacks brought from a local spaza shop that is believed to be foreign-owned early this month. SABC News reporter Puselezo Mokwena has the story.
Well, we are outside the councillor's office here in Naledi, Soweto. Well, you'd remember that this is the area that was tragically hit by a storm whereby 6 children lost their lives earlier this month. Well, you'd remember that it is due to the contaminated snacks that were allegedly bought from a local spaza shop. But let me bring in Victoria Africa, who represents women, PA women nationally. Well, as Victoria, thank you so much for your time. I just want to get from you as the leadership what has been done to maybe like the plans that you have in place to ensure that we don't see incidents of such happening in the long run.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Victoria Africa, representing PA Women Alliance. So what we have been doing in the past few weeks, we've been engaging different departments like GEP, and the discussions were centered around the informal market. What we're doing now here in Naledi it's not only going to apply here in Naledi, but it's going to go national. We're trying to reclaim the township economy, and we want to ensure that it is South Africans that operates this business space, because if you are, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the laws, but according to the Immigration Act, foreign nationals are not allowed to operate in the informal market. Now, the government has not really been doing enough. That's why we are facing this situation as we speak, and we keep losing our children, and we are saying we're putting a stop to it.
Imagine the horror parents must feel, knowing that something as simple as a snack could be deadly. But how did this happen? How did food, meant to bring joy to children, end up endangering their lives? The contamination appears to have come from improperly handled food, spoiled products, and in a shocking twist, reports even suggest that some sweets and chips were found with drugs hidden inside the packaging. Children expecting a fun treat were instead ingesting harmful substances. This tragedy has raised urgent questions about food safety and the regulation of tuck shops in South Africa. I found this article, and as you can hear, the editor of the Cape Times, a South African newspaper, are begging the government to do something about this, but it falls on deaf ears.
The rate of food poisoning incidents involving children across South Africa, and more importantly the untimely deaths of 6 who ate contaminated snacks, is alarming. More than 200 children across South Africa have been hospitalized after eating tainted food products which they bought from Spaza shops. Recent incidents have underscored the urgency of the situation. In October alone, 47 pupils from Lego Primary School in Hammanskraal were hospitalized due to suspected food poisoning after consuming expired chocolates. Then, more than 70 grade 12 pupils from various Gauteng schools experienced similar symptoms during a matric camp. Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi announced the recent food poisoning cases were declared a national security threat. Rightfully so. This series of events, not limited to Gauteng and Mpumalanga, has sounded the alarm with the authorities, but urgent intervention is needed. Serious questions around the regulation of Spaza shops need to be tackled. It is all good and well for the Department of Basic Education to call for enhanced food safety and hygiene education within schools and communities. But more can be done in terms of health inspections and regulating the informal sector. According to the World Health Organization and the National Environmental Health Policy, a ratio of 1 EHP for every 10,000 people is essential for safeguarding communities against food safety violations. SA falls short. DAMP Michelle Clark highlighted a critical shortage of environmental health practitioners, EHPs, in South Africa. Statistics show SA has only 1,712 EHPs, significantly below the required 6,203 for adequate coverage, translating to just 27.6% of the ideal workforce. Yes, we need the public protector to investigate, but the real test is the implementation of any adverse findings. And then, the next tier is accountability. Who will be held liable? There seems to be progress in the case involving the 6 children who died in Naledi, Soweto, as 4 people were arrested. The suspects allegedly confessed to purchasing an illegal chemical from a mall in Johannesburg and tainting the snacks. Authorities confiscated 1,456 g of this chemical during a search recently. The most vulnerable in society must be protected against food safety violations. Our Constitution places the safety and rights of children as a top priority, and that should be the case for every member of society too.
Community members, educators, and parents are now rallying together, demanding accountability and stricter food safety policies for tuck shops across South Africa. The government has responded with promises to tighten regulations, but for many families, these measures come too late. As communities mourn the loss of these young lives, South Africa faces a crucial turning point. The question remains, what will be done to prevent another tragedy? How can we ensure that every child is safe, even in the simplest of places like a neighborhood tuck shop?